Everything
Okay.
good?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll open up with something getting ready for the game. We're getting ready to go to practice. Are we good? Does everybody hear me? Okay.
Yes,
We're
Coach.
we're getting ready to go to practice here in a few minutes and get ready for Florida. We were off Wednesday. We practiced yesterday. And really the biggest things come down to in this game is we've got to do a great job attacking and handling their pressure. And when we did that at Florida, we were successful. When we didn't, we turned it over and we gave them opportunities. We've got to do a great job on the backboards because that's where they're really strong and on both ends of the floor, but especially on the offensive end. And we got to protect the lane. Colin Castleton is coming off. I don't know if it was his best statistical game, but he was at another level this past Tuesday, I believe it was, against Arkansas. And the entire team, they get in the paint, they make plays, and getting in the paint allows them to get the drive and kick threes, but it really allows them to play through Castleton, which can put a lot of pressure on your defense. So those are the biggest things we've got to get ready for with our team. We got to continue to move the ball and build on what we did the other night at Texas A&M with the ball movement. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to make 13 threes, but the ball movement definitely gives you a chance to do that. But the bet is in any situation, we can't have a lot of live ball turnovers and have success. So that's where we've got to really be strong with it, along with the things that I mentioned. So go right ahead.
Okay, we're going to go straight into questions. First, we're going to go to Charles Odom, and then we're going to go to Mark Weiser.
Hey, Coach, can you provide any update or clarification on the status of Wade Mason?
No, I really can't. I mean, there's nothing really that I can add to personnel matters.
Is there anything you can say on how you had to adjust, any adjustments you've had to make in his absence, staff-wise?
No, I think we've been pretty good in that area. I mean, it just biggest thing is it creates more preparation responsibilities for the staff right now, especially Steve McLean. But that would be the biggest area right now. We just make adjustments as we go. I mean, the way the rules are this year, when people would be out recruiting or something like that, you've been able to move up 2 different coaches. So really, in that sense, it's not like it's foreign when somebody new is on the floor for us. So we just deal with it the best we can.
Tom, with Cario, when you look at his game, what impresses you the most as a guy that wants to play on the next level? I know he was very hot on 3-pointers the other day. He's shooting 26% on the season. How much has he worked on that aspect?
Well, he's worked on it a ton. I think the improvement level he's at is tremendous. And I mean, he's really getting better in a lot of ways. His numbers outside of the rebounding in certain areas are similar to Anthony's a couple of years ago. And I'm not comparing him to Anthony, but in the sense of just improving, being able to make plays, being able to attack the rim. I mean, his ability to play in the open floor is obviously pretty unique, and because of his body, because of his speed and quickness. But he's really working hard at the game. He works hard on his shooting. He works hard on his ball handling, and has worked really hard at getting better in the pick and roll. And there's so many areas that he can improve on. Obviously, I could go right down the line. He's got to keep getting better on the ball. He's got to keep getting better with his rebounding. But when he is locked in and letting his defense dictate the game, that's when he's at his best. And I mean, go back even to the Auburn game. He had the responsibility of guarding Jabari Smith in that game. And I thought he did a really good job in a lot of ways, not only defensively, but in letting the game come to him. And he's one of those guys, he's a young guy that the more that they understand, and everybody goes through this, or the majority of players go through this, once they understand that you don't come in thinking about the scoring and the shooting, but you come in thinking about the defending, you come in thinking about the rebounding, you come thinking about the hustle part of the game, it's amazing how much easier it gets to score. I mean, it becomes to score, I should say. And I think he's in the midst of that. But his improvement from where we were at the beginning of the year to where we are right now is some of the best I've been a part of.
Quickly, with Flanders Fleming, your impressions of him as a player, and how close did he come to, coming to Georgia as a local guy when he was in the portal?
Yeah, I'm not sure how close he came. We recruited him. But I think he's very explosive. I think he leads them in steals by far. Very aggressive, very good straight line driver. Has gone in and benefited their team. I mean, very strong and aggressive and very good player.
Thank you.
Okay, next we're going to go to Anthony Dasher and then Chip Towers.
Hey, Coach. Good to see you today.
Hi, you too.
Yeah, well, with the record being what it is and the season winding down, is there anything else you've learned about your players as far as their ability to keep their focus on where it needs to be?
Well, that's a good question because we're right in the midst of that. And I think they've done a really good job of that. I mean, I really have. I mean, they're a resilient group. They work really hard. We have our bouts of lack of confidence, and we have our bouts of lack of scoring or turnovers. We have some bouts sometimes in games that are hard for us to get out of. But when it comes to responding, when it comes to practice, when it comes to energy, it's tremendous. Their energy is tremendous. And I think what you want to go along with the energy is the belief, right? And to have them not lose belief in a game, no matter where that score is, that they can come back and win it. And we've got some experiences where we've done that, where we've come back all the way. I mean, even with the win with Alabama, we came back. But to come all the way back in Auburn, to come all the way back in Florida, the game after, those are the things where I get upset with them or where I get disappointed with them is when they lose that belief in a winnable game because because their spirit gets zapped a little bit. And that's where I try to snap them out of it the best that I can because I believe we're going to win. And I see how hard they work every day in practice. And I see the commitment that they have to that. So it doesn't mean every day is great, but I can promise you, if you saw them, people that see them practice, don't look at them and say, wow. I mean, I think they don't see the record when they see them practice. And that's what you want. You want a group of guys that are going to believe, work, and get ready for that next game by giving everything they have to that day. And I see that in this group. And that's why we're continuing to move forward every step of the way.
Yeah, Coach, two questions about it. First, just like you touched on Cario earlier, him and Bridges, you've had some individuals do some pretty good work this season. When you look there and you see that, Cook's about to move into third, I think, on assist for single season. And Bridges is shooting at a clip that hasn't been achieved since the 1970s. So, I mean, can you just talk about there are good parts of this team? And then the second part of the question is just like, I mean, obviously the record is what it is. You can't win 10 games in the next two. So, how bad are you guys focused on just getting one victory and being able to have that to celebrate?
Well, I think they're so focused on that I've got to make sure that we stay locked into how we go about that process because I know they want to win, right? And we all want to win. Everybody wants to win. It's not that at all. But you can want to win too bad. And what I don't want is them playing tight. The other night, I didn't think we played tight at all. I thought that ball moved and they played with really good freedom and we were cutting. What happens when you get tight, you stop cutting. It's almost you get the deer in the headlight look, right? And you're standing there. And that's when we're not very good. And we're not very good defensively when that happens. So that's where we just got to stay focused. And again, process is a very overused and understood, if that's a phrase. But as a coach, you got to keep trying to get them to see that. And you got to segment the game and you've got to be able to see the game in 4-minute situations, right? With the TV timeout situation, the way that is. But our programs have always been about development and this team is no different. I mean, really, when you look at in a nutshell, we have no four-man. When you lose PJ Horn and you lose Jalen Ingram like we didn't have anybody that can come and play one of the most crucial spots. So you have to continue to put people in those spots that may not be natural for those positions. Case in point, Noah Bauman, right? Being a guy that's primarily played the 2 spot most of his life. And now he's got to go in there and play the 4 spot. So you have to continue to build your team around where you're at with who you have, right? In lieu of injuries and situations like that. But when it comes to players that are continuing to get better and get better from start to where we are right now, it's a lot higher of a list than it is now. Now, there's some that haven't improved as much, and there's different reasons for that, whether it be playing time, whether it be injuries, those type of things. But Jabri Abdul-Rahim has gotten tons better, right? And it doesn't always show up in the box score with his stats, but like there's no idea. I mean, there's no question that has happened. So Cario Braylon, for Braylon to come from a backup in the Horizon League a year ago to be, I know what he does for us. I didn't know those stats and where they ranked to. You just said that, nor did I know that about Aaron. I knew the 5th all time. I didn't know he was close to 3rd. Those are impressive things, but that means that they're getting better. They're coming in every day with a work ethic, and we have a style of play and a system that allows them to flourish in that. And that's what we've got to continue to do. Where we've got to continue to grow is eliminate needless, careless, unforced turnovers and continue to work better at guarding the ball. And then we have no way around, because of our size right now and our limitations of size, with those guys being out, is to be a total 5-man unit rebounding team. Every time we're on the floor, they've got to be a 5-man defensive rebounding team. And those are the things that get us. It's not as much, well, we missed a lot of shots. Yet that happens. It's those other parts that get us. And that's where we've just got to continue to have that confidence, because of the individual games improving the way that they are, to continue to believe that we can win the games based on if we're doing those things collectively together.
Okay, we're going to wrap up with Jordan Hill.
Okay.
Tommy mentioned Castleton for Florida. Just what stands out the most about him to you and the challenge he presents?
Tremendous score, tremendous size, very tough and aggressive.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you.